All right, welcome back to today's lesson. So we will be talking about the ACW, the structured system, structured systems design. So what we will talk about over here is after the stage of structured analysis, right? So got nothing much over here. This week and the following week, I'll be giving the tutorial questions for you to prepare to answer for your midterm, right? For your midterm. But this this following two chapters will be quite simplified to let you focus more on the tutorial question, which I will share with you later in the class, right? Today I will share with you the questions, but bear with me. I will start again with the recap, right? Recap thing again. What I will do is I will not recap in any other thing, but I will go to your assignment instead. All right, we'll be talking about your assignment, a little bit detail. Some of your friends come and ask me, I have any template for them to refer to or any seniors work? Uh, Basically, there's no seniors work that you can refer to. By the way, it will change again. We'll not focus on this mushroom for the next semester. It will be on other project and other case scenario. But thing is that how would you know that you are doing well or not? Let me just go back over to here, 482, right? It goes back over to your assignment over here. Just drag down over here to the end. Can you see this one? So if you're wondering how to do this assignment should cover basically the first chapter until the seventh chapter, right? It should have all of this information. You see, this is the example report structure. This report structure should contain the executive summary, introduction, as is, analysis. Can I write over here? You will basically have your chapter 2 over to here, right? This is where you do your system survey and planning. Then chapter 3 over to here. This is where you do your structured system analysis, right? Structured system analysis. And chapter 5 would be over to here, right? The one that we're gonna go into today. And 6 would be to here, and then chapter 7 would be to here. And you can support your work with the appendix or anything that you want to further clarify. So over here, meetings record, you are advised to do that to show that your team, you are doing some discussion. All of these are clearly noted over here. Hopefully go through with them. Let me see. What I want to emphasize on over to here is that basically what we are doing in the class, they are for fun, but they are not they are not irrelevant to allow you to score in your assignment, right? What we have done, they are fun, they are part and parcel of the requirement that would contribute to the excellent or the good marks that you were to be proud of. All right, let me just go into here. We got the this basically this is the instruction. All right, and you should show your BPMN, the framework, accordingly to the chapters, accordingly to the requirement shown, and it should be quite clear that you want to score excellent or good marks, right? Don't go and aim for this. Don't go and aim for the poor unless you want to get poor marks, right? That's pretty much it, right, on this part of this part. When some of you ask me, do you have a structured or any template? Over here I have provided you with this report outline already. All right, I don't know what do you want. You want the actual product of the answer? that would be when you finish your product, right? It's like this. You have a customer, and your customer is this customer over here. They are this mushroom village with the farming and the need of these solutions for them, and simply you are just gonna approach them with what you have. And of course you cannot approach them with empty hand. You cannot approach them with empty handed, right? So you need to prepare yourself some report guideline. You need to get yourself a prototype of the solutions. Then you approach them. Just it's like a simulation. You need to imagine that you are given the task, all right, and to work to provide a solution to this village. And I will grade you based on this grid over here, right? If you're not, I'll not grade you outside of this grid. It is over here. Everything should be quite clear. I already come up with a guidebook, and if you still don't know what to do, then let me just go to today's class, which I want to share with you, which is this one over here. All right, so if you still don't know what to do, let me just write something over here so you can see that what we have done so far in class. We have been studying the process. The chapter 1 until chapter 1 itself is introductions, right? We just talk about just a refresh about what is AIS, what will lead you to this I'll say the need for re-evaluating your business process. These are the first opening of the whole chapter that we have, right, for the SDL system development lifecycle framework thing. Chapter 2 onwards, all right, is where you're going to do your project. And I think it's quite clear to you. I don't know why is it not clear to you, in a sense that you don't know what to do. Okay, let me just write down over here. So chapter 1, let's go, just chapter 1 talks about the AIS. Just a brief recap of what's happening, and pretty much talks about all the business process and what would you face, all right, if there's some risk, all those 6 components of the AIS to be considered, right? Then let us go into here, right? If you still don't know what to do, chapter 2 starts with the SDLC, right? SDLC. Chapter 2 starts with the SDLC. If you still don't know what to do, over here, let me just go with the mushroom. All right, the mushroom village. Get the mushroom village. All right, let me just go with the mushroom village over here. So first stage of all is the problem, right? You got the mushroom village, they have problem. All right, you should do what? You should write a start of the report saying that in the executive summary, this is basically a project to reflect on the development of a solution for the problem in the mushroom village. All right, and over there you should go into your introduction should give a brief idea on system development, should go give a brief idea about farming process, maybe brief idea about your case context on this mushroom village. You can talk about mushroom and talk about the villagers that do the farming. It's a general big picture of what kind of project we are going into now. All right, you shouldn't be puzzled by now that what we are doing in the class, right? We are building a solution for this mushroom village, the farmer and the processing village for the product of the mushroom. All right, this one should be very clear to you, and the introduction should include all of that. It should include also the first stage of the SDLC. All right, it should also include the first stage of the SDLC, which is the system survey and planning. All right, it should also include this in your introduction. All right, what is this? So you have your problem. All right, based on the guidebook I give you on your project, I have listed down the problem. The problem are inefficient in the production. The problem are unable to capture the harvest in time. The productivity is bad. Unpredictable productivity, unpredictable harvest time. These are the problem faced by the village farmer, right? And we have the problem over here into two. Let me just see what we have over here. All right, we have the problem over here into two major part. We learn how to frame the problem, right? Over here, your first task is to frame the problem. All right, problem for the farmer and the processor, all right, or the production team. All right, and also there is the sales. All right, frame. Okay, first and foremost is you need to frame your problem. Okay, this one is your assignment. The problem is there already. How you going to frame it according to the chapter 2 that I give you in class. All right, you need to go with your group member, talk to them, see which is the best for you to frame your problem, and then go down to the needs. All right, the needs over here is obviously, is there a need or not, right? This one also refer to the guidebook. You can find out the document review, how to do the need. How do you, first, how do you frame the problem? Second, how do you How do you know that there is a need? All right, there is a need by going through the interview, which you can't, but you can do is document review. Okay, document review. Over here, I already give you in the let's say in the guidebook, I give you a very brief introduction to the problem, so you can use that as the document review. All right, and from there onwards, only you start to do your over here objectives, right? Scope. You try to go down over here and you try to suggest a project. All right, you're gonna start the project and then you're gonna scope down. All right, you're gonna scope down. These are all in the introductions. All right, you're gonna have a very much packed introduction with multiple sections. All right, you're gonna go down to your scope. You're gonna scope your project. Just add this one. Scope your project. All right, you're gonna follow the guideline that I gave you in the study kit. Then from there, you will decide your none other than the objectives. All right, objectives. This is very important. All right, make sure you follow the guideline of SMART. SMART. All right. Make sure these objectives, make sure they are all interrelated. All right. The keyword over here. All right. The major keyword is they should be interrelated. You cannot suddenly come out and objectives that doesn't match with the problem. All right, then you'll be in a big trouble. Okay, they must be interrelated. All right, they must be interrelated. Okay, then you do a very short preliminary feasibility test. All right, you do a pretty short preliminary feasibility assessment. All right, do a preliminary feasibility assessment, then you're off the introduction. All right, off with the introduction. Over here is the intro to here. So here's the question. All right, should you, if you not, there's another part where I talk about the feasibility assessment as well, right? This is preliminary. Remember, preliminary means it's the start. It can be just a short passage that focus on the three aspects. That's why I was hoping that you all did this following the timeline that I give you, right? So that later on week 8 onwards, you'll be just focusing on the development of this project. But never mind. If you're not, then you just write a short feasibility assessment on this preliminary. Then we are done with the first stage over here, right? We are done with the first stage. Okay. Then go down to the second stage, which is the system. Just go over to here. System, what we call structured system analysis, right? STRUC, structured system analysis. Let me just check over here what is the recording time. 20 minutes. All right. Okay, I don't want to over this